Good morning. I hope you slept well last night and are looking forward to this new day. You've survived the holidays and 2021. What a year. Congratulations. Each day we wake up again, we need to begin again. What do I mean by that? Recently, I was involved in planning a memorial for my dear friend Jane, and it made me realize that my life will be very different, and I will have to find new beginnings for spending precious time with friends and treasuring and respecting their friendships. In a way, beginning again. There are many ways to begin again. While reading the wonderful, sensitive Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Kimmerer, a book that tells about growing up and living as an indigenous family, I realized all the horrors they experience and how we need to help them begin again. Involved in this rebirth is teaching our children and families to respect the earth and all the wonderful creatures that exist. Megan is going to read us a poem by an indigenous person about this topic.
So actually, I was going to sing All Creatures of the Earth and Sky.
I meant to say song. Please.
Okay. All creatures of the earth and sky, come, kindred, lift your voices high. Alleluia, alleluia. Bright burning sun with golden beam, soft shining moon with silver gleam. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Embracing earth you day by day, bring forth your blessings on our way. Alleluia, alleluia. All herbs and fruits that richly grow, let them the glory also grow. Alleluia, 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 all you of understanding heart, forgiving others, take your part. Alleluia, alleluia. Let all things now the Holy bless, and worship God in humbleness. Alleluia, 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 alleluia.
Thank you, Megan. I was taught many of the indigenous values by my parents. I grew up on a small farm in SoCal, California, and spent hours with my dog playing in the woods on Bates Creek with the Santa Cruz salamanders. Once I even caught a steelhead salmon trying to go upstream to spawn, but I let her go to continue her important trip. Lately, they are rebuilding the river systems that have impeded the important salmon trip each year, and the Amamutsan tribe and the county are helping the salmon to begin again. In high school, my mother encouraged me to research the Palm Springs indigenous people who had had their land literally taken away from them. My mother had grown up in Sonora, California, and was well aware of how mistreated the Miwoks had been around Yosemite and Sonora. Andy is going to do a reading for us by an indigenous person. And this is her picture, Wawa Cha.
So this is The Indian's Spirits by Wawa Cha. Down in the deep, my spirit will creep, out of the windows, into the air, no one knows where, deathless and lifeless, sleepless of fears, Indians will keep their spirits near, creeping about in the open air, no one knows where. Down in the deep, my spirit will creep, fearless of sorrow and fearless of time. Indians will seek a spirit to help their creed. Out of the window, into the air, no one knows where, Indian spirit shall share. Deathless and lifeless, sleepless of fear, the noise of my spirit shall speak very clear. Out of the window, into the air, no one knows where, when far into the darkened night, a change in the air. The Indian spirit shall creep out of nowhere.
My being raised in what is known as a Redwood transition, I became a nature counselor at various summer camps, and after teaching elementary school, becoming a middle school science teacher specializing in conceptual and hands-on activities. I shared this with new teachers training at USC and Cal State LA and UC Santa Cruz and UCLA as a mentor and master teacher. I still have boxes of lab activities in my garage that I can't throw away because I loved doing all that. As I look back on my life, I chose to begin again about every 5 years. I went from elementary classrooms where you teach all the subjects, theoretically, to middle school math and science, to straight science. The latter were always my favorites, and I always hoped the teachers before and after me did a bang-up job with English. The Sierra Club magazine this winter reinforced the indigenous people's work to go back to the environmentally safe forestry and water practices. Spirituality has been a big part of the native people, and to return the sacred land to them is healthy for all. All 6 million species, and to have reciprocity with them. Recently, their land outside of Gilroy, California, has been returned to their care. In Alaska, they are deciding if they should allow Pakran Coal Company to dig through the salmon spawning grounds, while the salmon are the lifeblood of Alaska. Don't we already know that burning coal destroys the atmosphere? How can we begin again? Today I would like to read a poem written by Carlos Montezuma, or Was Aja, who was a Yavapai Apache, the first Native American doctor, activist, and founder of the Society of American Indians in 1911. Changing is not vanishing. Who says the Indian race is vanishing? The Indians will not vanish. The feathers, paint, and moccasin will vanish, but not the Indians. Never. Just as long as there is a drop of human blood in America, the Indians will not vanish. His spirit is everywhere. The American Indian will not vanish. He is an industrial and commercial man competing with the world. He has not vanished. The man part of the Indian is here, there, and everywhere. The Indian race vanishing? No, never. The race will live on and prosper forever. While reading from the shared pulpit textbook, which we use for our pulpit class, and the origination of this sermon, I found an appropriate story about giving and beginning again, called Why Should We Help? The answer I wish I'd given because I can. While tutoring at a homework center that our fellowship set up down the road from us, which had been a recreational trailer park and evolved into a very old and dirty immigrant housing center, I got involved with one family in particular. Went on school trips with the kids, paid for school pictures, etc. One Halloween, the children asked if they could come to my house to go trick-or-treating. I said yes and invited the family for a simple dinner. When it was time to go home, Papa, who didn't speak English, asked Maria, the eldest daughter, to ask me why I helped them. There was a big pause. And what came to me was, because your children are smart and I can. Since then, I'm included in family weddings and celebrations, and Papa always asked me to dance. How can you begin again? While reading an advice column in the local paper on November 4th this year, I read, the most important thing for people in need should do is to ask for help. I will add to that, listen, accept change, and love. And finally, many philosophers say in different ways, if you love yourself first, everything will fall in place. But that's a topic for another service. Please sing along with our final hymn and video done by a friend of mine.